Yeah. I was only 2 minutes late. So suck it. Welcome to Omni X-men. And I'm here with Justin. What's going on, man?
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I had my bets in on the under. So just to clarify.
I was just like, oh, now it's on. Brought out
good.
a competitive spirit I didn't know I had.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, man. Pumped for tonight. Pumped to well, continue to talk mutants. I know these haven't been the most focused, X-Men or mutant related books, but maybe it's the celebration of getting through this, right? Getting kind of to issue 4 and moving on from here.
If nothing else, you'll get like receding hairlines on giant domes and saber-tooth tigers.
That's right. That's right.
And better than all of that is Darrell from Read Your Comics.
Yeah.
What's happening?
What's going on, brother?
What's happening, fellas?
Chilling. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely.
You and I, we talk a ton on Instagram. I feel like more than anywhere else. We're talking. We spend time on the Instagram talking back and forth. But like, it seems like you have a similar interest in stories from the Bronze Age that I love. Like it seems like a lot of the same stories you and I probably got in. Where were you? How early did you find X-Men?
Well, it's complicated. When I first got into comics, the Wolverine solo series was starting about that time. So I was more into just that. And I would try to dip my toes into X-Men. And around that time, like, Uncanny X-Men was almost impenetrable to me. But I would pick up the occasional classic X-Men.
Sure.
And then it's like, every so often, it's like, I would see an X-Men cover, like that one with the Brood with Wolverine on it. I'd be like, oh, I got to check this out, especially if Wolverine was on it. I would check into it. But I would always be so lost. It really wasn't until it was after the Jim Lee new series launch that I started like kind of sticking with it a little. Nice. And then eventually I went back and like reread all the like giant size X-Men up stuff, mostly via reprints.
So then is it possible that much like Justin here, this is your first time trying these fanfare issues?
These fanfares, this is my first time doing it.
Okay.
And I did it because of you guys.
Sweet.
Yeah, Super Russ. I am sporting the Super Russ swag tonight. Definitely go and subscribe to his YouTube, his Instagram, and get some cool shirts, man. I'm living the dream. But let's say hello to some other folks in the chat before we get too deep into this incredibly short issue. Magic Lasso right off the bat saying hello to everybody, including Rachel Dinners and our guest, saying, so in the Savage Land, Zabu would never blow anything up, but a dynamite. JP losing the over-under bet. Happy that is occurring on my watch. Seriously, yes, the final one. There is Angel. He gets more time. Yes. Deal. Angel is no. Nobody's. This might be the rare occasion where those words have actually been put together for the very first time here on this show.
It's true.
Impressive. TK, hello to you, TK. Thanks for coming out of the Batcave to hang out with us in the Savage Land.
Nice.
He took the under. I think you might owe him a little bit, and I don't know any rule about this. I don't know any rule about
I placed it. I placed the bet.
It got in. It was in. It was in. So we got Jay Hood here. What is going on? This is not. Oh, this is a Paul Smith issue. Actually, this is a Paul Smith issue.
Yeah, that is Paul Smith.
We had Cockrum last time, and we've had Michael Golden before that. Yeah. You are correct. Jennifer is here. I'm sorry I'm not wearing your shirt tonight, but I've been sporting it. That shirt needs a wash. I'm just going to say. It needs a wash. Who else do we got here? I think we got everybody. All right. There's Sove. What is up, Sove?
What's up, Sove?
Good to see you. And yeah, Paul Smith is Michael Golden did, I want to say, the Iron Man story in this one as well. Or did he do the Deathlock? I can't remember. He did one of those two. What's up, Kenneth? Good to see you. All right.
Hey.
So, for those that don't know and are new to this program, we're in the 6 final issues of the second omnibus, the second Claremont omnibus, and we are wrapping up this run. And then coming up here at the very tail end of June on the 28th, we're going to do a ton of giveaways, and you can all have a chance to win some fun prizes just by sticking around to the end and answering fun questions from the previous issue, or just making us laugh, or making Darrell laugh tonight by telling us something funny to answer our jokes.
That's right.
Our questions. So stick around, spend some time. You might really enjoy it. And then on the 28th, we're going to just be sending out all kinds of cool giveaway items. So make sure you are here for that. Original artwork, mystery boxes, slabbed X-Men comics. There's a ton of stuff coming out. So be ready for that.
It's going to be a party.
As we finish off season 2.
Yeah, man. It's coming around. We're coming around quick.
Chet is here, and he says the giveaway is coming up. May give a book he won't read. I mean, that's fair.
I'm giving away a Hulk Annual 7, guys. I can't wait.
I think he might have a first appearance of Sync he could throw in there.
Ooh. There you go. All right, so let's dive right in. Final issue of these 4 Marvel Fanfare issues that were included here, because Claremont wrote these stories, and there are mutants and apparently in them somewhere. Justin, now that you've finished this 4-issue run, how you doing?
I think I'm gonna be all right getting through it. No, this issue was better, I would say, compared to at least the grand scheme of things. Maybe it's because it's the fact that it's buttoning things up and we're getting some answers and just kind of seeing where this whole thing was originally going to begin with. As a series, it feels like it drags and kind of retells things over and over again. And it's weird because it's hard to make something drag when it's so short in terms of the stories. So, but that's, yeah. So, the artwork was great. I know, like I said, what's his name? Smith was doing the artwork here.
Yeah. Who later does a run on Uncanny
of his own. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So and I've heard really good things about it. So yeah, I appreciated the artwork. And I was telling Darrell too, before we got started, that I think the artwork in general across all 4 is kind of one of the things that really saved my interest for just, kind of continuing to go along with this. But story wise, yeah, it definitely dragged out, kind of repeated some stuff. But I liked how this kind of ended, at least good enough to I don't know if I would like tell anybody else that they had to read this whole series or anything. But if they read the first 1 or 2 issues, I would say, well, you might as well finish and read the 4th issue. That's if they read the first 3, I would say read the 4th. So I think as a fair grade, I think I would give this a solid 7, and I think that's coming from a positive place overall. So I'll give it a 7.
All right. How about you, Darrell? Now that you've completed some Fanfare love, where you at?
I binged the whole story in this vintage trade paperback.
Oh, nice.
$6 cover price.
What is that?
$6 cover price.
And look at Wolverine is in the wrong. He's in the wrong costume, riding a pterodactyl. That's fantastic. That's amazing.
And they made sure to get your boy on there.
There he is.
There he is.
And I will say that is the best Angel costume.
So and I picked this up because you guys asked me to be on this episode of the 4th issue, and I was like, oh, I've never read this. So I got this and I read it all over the last 7 days or so. This last issue alone, I would give. Justin gave it a 7. I would give it a generous 6 as a story by itself. The Paul Smith artwork is solid. The whole story as a whole, if somebody said hey, have you ever read that and should I read it? I would be why not? But I would recommend a lot of stuff before it.
For sure.
Yeah.
But if you were, going down the list, if you had that omnibus, read it. At least skim read it to look at the art.
if you're an Angel fan, maybe,
Yeah, if you're the diehard Angel fan.
I mean, I like the baseball team and all, but
so yeah, I would give it a generous 6, mostly based off the art. And this issue, it does wrap up the story pretty well. There's such a disjointedness between, I think, issue 2 and 3 that it's hard. It's hard to how do you wrap it up?
Yeah.
Apparently, it spun off into Ka-Zar too. That to some degree, I guess.
I mean, I didn't read that, so
yeah, no.
I don't know anything about.
I didn't read that either. But I saw the editor. I saw the editor's note. It was Ka-Zar's been off doing something else. I guess at least because he wasn't really in issue 3 at all.
I mean, I like Zabu.
Yeah,
So.
you like the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zabu. Wolverine likes Zabu too.
Yeah.
I believe I missed there was 62. What is up, 62 Lefty Blues?
Hey,
thank you for coming by.
Come in.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. This one was on par with the previous issues in the run, and in that 7-6 range. I'm fine with all these numbers, and I think were we not doing this as like a show, I probably would not have kept reading this. I probably would have gotten a little ways in and been like, let's skim. Hey, there's a cool drawing. Skim. No, what was JP? No sandwiches in this issue, so kind of a drag on that front. That's kind of a bummer. Jackson says he bought that trade and he had it. He sold it when he got his fanfares because I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what he's buying. So buying these.
Vintage trades are the coolest trades.
I meant the actual issues. Like who's buying Marvel Fanfare? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Spider-Man did get a ride home. He did not get stuck in the Savage Land. But apparently everyone who went on the trip knows who he is. His identity is not a secret anymore. So let's dive right into this slideshow that we got going here and talk a little bit about this whole series. Has had these really cool wraparound covers. So I'm going to just jump to the first slide, and so you can see the entire wraparound cover. Any thoughts on this wraparound cover, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, I really like this one. I mean, just the artwork itself, straightforward. I mean, they're all busy. They've all kind of been that, that style, but I do really like the artwork. Storm, stunning. Even just like kind of the showdown between Storm and what's her name, Vertigo, kind of chilling there. So, and I don't know much about Vertigo. Like I don't know. I assume there's been other Vertigo stories down the road, maybe an X-Men, I don't know, but she seems like a really interesting character, and I like her design. So I think that this cover kind of shows that off rather well. So
I mentioned she shows up in one of my favorite nostalgia reads from X-Men, which is that Marauders Massacre stuff.
Oh, that's right.
The early I think around issue 210.
210.
And she has a part in that. That's how I never realized that she was here in the Savage Land.
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, it's busy. It's nothing that would necessarily probably pop out at me otherwise, but the fact that it's like the wraparound, it is the detail that's put into it, I do appreciate. So,
Darrell, what are your thoughts?
I pretty much agree. It's well drawn, pretty well laid out. You kind of get it. They're surrounded. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah. And I think to both your, I mean, there's some really great character drawings here. I love Vertigo looks the best of anybody on the I never thought I would see a cover with Storm and say Vertigo looks the best, but this is true. I think her pose is great. The lighting, the
hair,
the energy.
Yeah.
I think it is super busy, and the colors are so similar. A lot of green and skin tones here, and it just kind of blends. And so I have a hard time with the depth perception of it. To really, nothing pops for me, and a ton of space used for like what seems to be like background villains, like minion guys. Like it's like I really wish they made the lead heroes pop a little bit off the page in some way or another. Especially with Storm in that outfit. Like, how do you not pop? There's no pop. So I was a little bummed about that. We also get another editorial with Al Milgram trying to keep Chris Claremont on schedule and trying to get Chris to turn in his work. And apparently the back and forth. Look, I feel like he was taking some shots. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you just skimmed that. I mean, I get it. If you're just like,
it wasn't even in my trade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did want to ask you, Darrell, if for the trade that you have, does the trade have the secondary stories in those?
No, it doesn't,
okay.
And it doesn't have the even full wraparound cover. And I would say
really?
the cover is even a little cropped.
Oh man, at least get the full
takes
cover.
the Marvel Fanfare off.
Okay, and then zooms in a little.
Yeah, well, I don't think. It zooms in. It probably crops it up.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah,
right to the top of Angel's wings. Look at that.
So I like that it's larger.
You get it focuses in on the heroes because you go here and it's like they're kind of lost
Yeah,
right?
I do like the detail of that. That's cool. But I feel like they should give you like two, like give you one full page or a double page of it, and then one zoomed in or something. I don't know. For a trade,
at least a 2-page spread.
Yeah,
This trade is from 1987, so I don't think they gave a ton of thought to the trades back then.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, well let's dive right into the story here. You got Angel, who had seemingly fallen to his death, but he wakes in a little lean-to, and Ka-Zar's there just flexing for him. I don't know. I felt uncomfortable calling too much out on Ka-Zar's like crotch lean back that he's doing there, but it's definitely happening. Instead, this is the 2-page, 3-page exposition sequence. Angel talking about how he had to run away. He was scared of Sauron, and it was too much for him. And how Ka-Zar's like, man up, like, dude, I survive in the Savage Land with a thong and a cat. Like, you can do it with your wings. Like, let's just blondie together. Any thoughts on all the exposition here? I'll go to Darrell first on this one.
I just remember Angel kind of being like real. I can't go back. I'm too scared of Sauron.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the one panel down in the corner where it's like, after a moment of silence, then he's like, okay, I'll do it. But no promises of getting anything done.
Brother John saying, imagine the smell of that loincloth. I don't really want to do that. But yeah, right. That's a lot. But I do think it's interesting that somebody that's survived there that long without really anything to, he's not a mutant. He has to be the one to convince Angel to this like champion X-Men early, or OG X-Man. What are your feelings on his? He has a legitimate fear, right? Because he's kind of useless. But like, what are your thoughts, Justin?
The main thing.
The main thing here that I kind of laughed at was down at the bottom where he offers him this whatever this food is, and he says, here, you'll be better on a full stomach. And he's just genuinely trying to help him, especially after he just practically fell to his death, right?
Right.
And he's trying to take care of him. And Angel immediately, like, just being such a snob, is just like, oh, I only prefer meals cooked. And then he goes on to explain it to us when he's like, well, you see, we can't because it's fire. It would create, they would see us, and all this other stuff. I just thought I was like, wow, they're really like taking time to like explain all this.
No, raw lizard. I'm good. Like, I'd be in the same boat. I'm in the same boat.
I just picture him like needing to eat something. He's been passed out for like however long, they don't even know.
I feel they give us 2 pages of exposition. I just need an Angel to give me a gag. Like,
yeah. Right. Exactly. Anyway.
All right. So after all that exposition, we jump to their plan of a catapult. They built a freaking catapult.
Classic strategy.
This is straight up there with building temporal machines to allow you to travel across space and time. They built a catapult in the middle of the Savage Lands to attack the temple where Sauron and Brainchild are transforming, or at least trying to transform our hero characters. Because you see that picture of Storm where she seems to be going back and forth between turning into a beast and then turning back into normal while the catapult's being built. Any thoughts here on this strategy, Justin?
Well, first, I do really like the panels of Storm's face there, seeing the transition going across like that, and especially like the way it's lit up. I know we've talked about kind of the lighting and stuff at close up, for certain faces and stuff in the past couple of episodes or issues. But I think that's really well done still, even for this. The catapult. So he's gonna catapult something and basically be a distraction, right? So that he can pull Sauron away, and then hopefully Ka-Zar can swim across and sneak in. Like, I don't know. I guess that's all they got. That's all they got. So they do what they got to do. But
when you put 2 blondes together, what do you expect? These are the strategists. Darrell, what are your thoughts, man?
So I'll agree with Justin. I do like the transition there. I was trying to figure out what exactly they were doing here. Like, were they purposely reverting them to this like prehistoric form and then back so Sauron could like drain them a little bit and then turning them back? It seemed like they were just turning them back and forth. I was like, what is what's the purpose of this?
It was that, right? Or that they were kind of purposely going back and forth for some of them, and I was kind of trying to follow along with that too. But there definitely was some constant back and forth, kind of what you said, like trying to drain some of the energy, but not all the way, or not kill them and then still bring them back. I didn't quite understand why. Or why
I'm willing to guarantee it was Al Milgram going, we're not going to have ugly Storm in this book. We're not going to have. You can't do this to me. Like, come on, give me good looking Savage Lance Storm.
Yeah.
And wasn't the last time we saw this machine, it was destroyed, and now they're just like, oh, we rebuilt it. Wasn't that the last time?
It's in perpetual, like, it's gonna be destroyed, but we're still using it kind of thing. It's like the copy machine at your office.
It's like when an escalator dies out, it turns into stairs. It still works. It's still convenient.
It just takes a little more effort.
Right.
Yeah, but I blew that panel up, JP, just for you. Like it's and that's it. Like that's the entirety of creepy whatever, like Neolithic Storm. Because look at this next picture. She's got her Savage Land gear on, the hair in full effect. She's being drained of her power, and we have Angel succeeding in his only useful task, which is to taunt Sauron. And how does he do it? They launch a few catapults, and then he flies over and says, "That's right, ugly. I'll make that offer once. I advise you to accept it. Release the X-Men and other prisoners and surrender, or face the consequences of my wings.
Now go away, or I shall taunt you a second time."
Right?
Like, great line.
That's all he's got. And that's like. Then so what does Sauron do? He drains a little bit of Storm's power, and then he's like, "I'm off to take care of the wing guy."
Yeah, I do like that panel there on the right when he's like draining Storm, and he does say, "Isn't it ironic, Storm, that those Angel seeks to save are providing me with the power to destroy him?" I'm like, yeah, that is pretty ironic.
He's drawn really well all through there.
Yeah,
like close up of his head. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Darrell. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say exactly what you're saying. The close up of his head with his mouth open and like the slime or whatever it is, like kind of between his jaws.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool looking.
Absolutely. Yep. And yet, again, like a giant cadre of villains that are like almost all of them are given no real time except for Sauron. Like Brainchild is hardly in the last couple of issues. And then Zaladane, the female goddess, which
out of nowhere,
is just like, she's so random. It's really like they could have cut the villain numbering down by half.
Yeah,
easy. This feels like a later Batman movie from the 90s where it's just like, hey, let's throw 3 or 4 more villains in here. That's where the money's at. More
villains, and let's even throw some extra arms on some of them. Let's
just go for it all the way.
That's where I'm wondering, like, at least in this, it mentioned Ka-Zar had like some other adventure, and I'm like, so did this stuff happen in those Ka-Zar issues that that weren't included in this, that were like in his own series, and like it just seemed like there was this huge time jump where Sauron is like taken over, whereas last time we saw him, he was just, "I'm Sauron again," and he flew off,
and they tell us that Ka-Zar was like, he went off on like a trip. He had a mission. He went off somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's like clearly time passed. The guy did a whole other mission, and then came back, was like, I found Angel on the ground, and I started trying to feed him raw lizard.
He came back like, all my buddies have been slaughtered, and this Zaladane woman is back.
I turn around for 1 second.
By the way, how creepy is Brainchild there? The way he's like drooling, checking Storm out there in that.
But it brings me to the perspective of that shot, because like you look at Vertigo, and I'm down below her crotch level, right? It's clearly an up the skirt shot I got for her, but like you look at him, and I'm straight on to him, like the perspective in that, and then you've got Sauron and way in the background who looks like he's going to fly over us.
True. Yeah.
And then you've got Zaladane who's like straight on.
Yeah.
Like, the perspective of that looks like 4 drawings pasted together.
I'm just saying he's
complaining about any one of them, but
I'm just saying he's creepy because he's like just waiting to get his hands on Storm. Very creepy.
Yeah. Because it doesn't say like he sees her and he's distracted by what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Storm.
I mean, who wouldn't be? So now we've got the other half of the plan. Sauron flies off, and Ka-Zar's like, I'm going to jump in the water with my cat, who clearly would love water, and we're going to swim across. Oh, there's a Loch Ness monster. I'll just gut it. Like, no big deal. Killed it. Let's swim a little further. Cat helps me get out. We're all good.
With my LL Bean knife.
Right.
I was reading. I was like, LL Bean. What is he talking about?
I mean, it's useless action that makes us feel like, did
Something's
Ka-Zar
happening.
did he need Angel for any of this? Like, if he can kill that giant dinosaur with like one swipe, I think he should be good to manage this situation.
I was kind of laughing too because it's a pretty good distance to swim, and I'm like, okay, let's say he can swim across, and along the way has to take out this monster, but wouldn't he just be like exhausted by the time he gets there? Because this isn't a swimming pool. This is like a lake with like a kind of a current going through it and stuff.
Those muscles aren't for show, Darrell. Those muscles are for real.
He's savage. Guy's savage.
All he's got is muscles and golden locks. That's all he's got. That's just it. Angel, on the other hand, completely like blows it. He gets a couple of sucker punches in and then gets hypnotized and taken away. He lasts all of 5 panels, JP. You can chide him any way you like. Before he's carried away like a little takeout meal for Sauron.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the might of Angel, Justin?
He was so confident too, you know. He's like, all right, now if I can just get him to this jet stream here and just high enough and all this stuff, and then just one look. That's all it took. One look, and he's done.
Yeah.
And wasn't that the plan in the last issue? Like, oh, I'll take him up here. Like,
yeah, the first time around, he was just trying to.
Angel.
Right, he was just trying to take him up into the coldness, and even then, even the other time, Sauron's like, I'm not going to follow you, man. I got all the people I need, so I'm just going to go back over here. So I was surprised to even see Sauron like even try, but yeah.
Which is kind of the curse of these issues, where it seems like the same moments are repeatedly happening over and over again.
With the same characters, even.
So
kind of the frustration, right?
Right.
Don't feel bad for him, Sleepy Reader. Come on, Rich Boy will be just fine.
Yeah.
Because we go to the next page and outfit change. Storm looking like that Savage Land's treating her like Princess Leia in Jabba's palace. I don't know what's going on here, but what do we have? We have Brainchild deciding to mate. I don't know what he's thinking here. He's basically like, I'm gonna, you can be my bride or whatever, and I'll bring you into my life, and I don't know. He has a whole like love affair plan going on here. I don't know what he's thinking. He's unlocked her from the machine, and I don't know who dressed her. I'm assuming it's him. He dressed her.
I think he said some slaves or something dressed her, didn't he? Because he says like they did a good job with you or something like that.
Right.
I'm sure he wasn't peeking or anything. We get the reveal that Tanya and Shayna are captured and have been reverted, but apparently they aren't going through the "we'll make you ugly, we'll make you cute" thing again. Right. They just made them ugly and walked away. Yeah. And in the midst of all of this, Zabu and Ka-Zar show up and stop Brainchild just in time to realize, oh wait, there are other characters here still dealing with the machine, because I don't know who's running the machine, but it's certainly not Brainchild. Somebody's running the machine on Nightcrawler because he's screaming. Any thoughts on the new outfit for Storm, Darrell? What are you thinking about this costume change?
You can't take Storm or any female X character to the Savage Land without giving them a makeover.
Yep.
It happened the last time Storm was in the Savage Land.
Yeah.
It happens to Rogue later on in the Savage Land.
Cyclops even went with like this like mustachy beard thing. Everybody does something a little different in the Savage Land.
So true.
Yeah, now this issue's an 8 for JP. He likes
there
this
you
one.
go, JP.
He's happy about this one. Smooth R&B mixtape. I can see that. That could work. Can't blame Brainchild for his choices. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Justin, any thoughts here on this this new Slave Leia costume?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, costume's great. Just glad that brainchild, got what was coming to him, because I mean, he was just a creeper. Guy was a creeper, and clearly had some evil plans, as he like explained them basically to her. But the other thing too was seeing that panel with Nightcrawler. I thought that was pretty wicked.
The color, right?
Yeah,
the lighting again.
And just like the fear in his face that you see on that bottom right hand side. Thought that was pretty wild. I think these were also some of the ones where, oh no, that's right. We didn't. Well, yeah, no, we didn't get to it yet. I'm thinking of the guard and stuff.
I just wanted to highlight too the slap fest. I almost went with one of those like slap competition gifts where it's just like they both deliver a couple of good.
They did. And Storm is like considered weak here, right? She's like still out of it, and
she still had her powers drained by Sauron and is struggling to get back to strength. So then they're running through this place, and it looks like Ka-Zar takes out a couple of minions, and Storm's trying to talk him into being nonviolent at this point. Still, turns out that Zaladane is running the machine. She's reverting Nightcrawler to some beast form, and Storm's not having it. She's like, you're a fake god. I'm a real goddess. Here we go. This is how it's going to be. And my favorite panels are the two on the right here, where you see her going in full power mode and the winds whipping Zaladane around.
Totally.
Any thoughts here, Justin, on Storm finding her power?
Yeah, I love those panels that you're talking about there. Like the way the coloring is, where it's like mixtures of yellow representing with the different light and stuff, and then you get the blues coming in for the wind and stuff. Really, really beautiful stuff there. Yeah, like I said before, I like, what's her name, Zaladane. She's just like, no, I knew that Brainchild couldn't, keep it together. Like that basically was the agreement. Was she's just like earlier, she just like told Brainchild, like, as long you don't screw this up, all right? Like, and he's like, yeah, don't worry, I'm just gonna keep drooling. And the big takeaway here for me though was with Storm kind of having this thought process of, one, seeing Ka-Zar get as angry as he did. Like he was, this was, if there was a serious moment in the book, it was this. And it's Ka-Zar really taking things to heart and wanting, after he saw Tanya and Shayna, in the form that they were in, how furious he was. And then to hear Storm's opinion, or her thoughts, thinking like, oh man, like I what'd she say? I agreed to, or took the oath to never take a life. But like she kind of wants to now, even at this point, just with like how evil like things have been going on. So,
right.
I thought those are some pretty serious moments there, even just with Storm herself kind of struggling with the feelings that she was kind of having at that moment. But she's, able to still manage it and still kick ass and not necessarily kill people, which is good.
Darrell, any thoughts here on Storm?
All this is well drawn. I didn't really think that this was as the Paul Smith I'm like more familiar with the whole issue, except for like that face next to the picture of Zaladane. That face, to me, that says Paul. Like I see Paul Smith's work just in that like close up.
Yeah.
But of course, that panel where she's kicking up the powers, it's kind of yellow. That's pretty killer.
Totally. All right, let's see what happens to Zaladane next. No, Storm faints. Looks like Storm can't handle it. She faints. Gets caught by Ka-Zar. The cat starts licking Wolverine so he can wake up. He tries to get out of his clamps, but he can't. He's held tight. So of course it's Colossus to the rescue. He flexes out, breaks out of his, and then rips them off Wolverine. So Wolverine's free, and then it's like, let's mess these guys up. Wolverine and Colossus jumping into battle to help Ka-Zar and Zabu. X-Men are all freed now. Darrell, it's kind of nice to have them all like rushing into battle finally, right?
Yeah, it's nice to get them all free. One thing I did kind of like about the whole issue in general, in this little scene where they're meeting up with Ka-Zar, however you guys say it, but as far as I know, this is the first time they've seen him since those, what are they, like the One Teens issues,
right?
But they really do act like they spent months with him and are like really close friends with him, and because all of them react to him, and like Wolverine reacting to Zabu, and all of it, it's just there is some continuity there that you do feel in this. They're not just like, oh, it's that guy again that we've seen in the past.
Right.
You know, like
a little emotion.
But I mean, because really in those issues, those whatever, I can't remember the numbers that they are, but they spent like 3 or 4 months in the Savage Land.
Yeah, they don't necessarily tell you exactly how much time passed, but you definitely know it was long enough for Wolverine to sew an entire suit.
Yeah,
that happened. That happened.
Yes.
Cyclops grew a little bit of a scruff, a little bit.
That took a little longer than the suit, but that happened too.
Well, simultaneously, like Jean was going off on her like vacation adventures. So, I mean, like a long time passed. It was at least at the minimum of a few weeks.
Yeah,
right.
But that's a long time to like hang out with them and bond with with these people. So, but it shows. I feel like it showed in the scene where Storm first sees him, and it shows here when Wolverine and Colossus and have they freed Nightcrawler yet?
Not yet. That's coming up next.
Okay, yeah, but they all show like, oh, we know you. You're our buddy, and so I thought that came across pretty well.
Yeah, I'll move forward to the next slide here, where you can see the team fighting Barbarous, fighting the Wolf, Timberus. Not a really unique names. You see Wolverine punch a lady. Go for it. Just do you, brother. They rescue Nightcrawler, who Nightcrawler doesn't seem to be going through the same, oh, my powers aren't quite working yet thing, where he's instantly like, nope, I'm teleporting. I got to save Angel because nobody can save him. He needs constantly to be saved.
Yeah.
So any thoughts here, Justin, on all the action we're getting?
I like the action overall. I thought it was interesting. Like, it's cool to see, like, it was almost like a domino effect of like Storm helped Colossus get out, and Colossus, released Wolverine, and then, Wolverine, they all just start, going into action or whatever. Vertigo getting decked in the face. I don't know if that was, well, actually she did get knocked out last time too, by something thrown at her. So, she's having a rough day. The action's cool. Like I said, I was assuming this was going to build up to this. Happened, I guess, a little faster than I thought, but granted, these issues are very short, so I guess it is what it is.
Darrell, what are you thinking about this? About the sequences here?
Wraps up pretty fast. Like, I feel like this part of the story, it's like, okay, we got to wrap this up. We only have a couple pages left. Let's make it happen. And I read this with my kids, and like you're saying, these too many villains problem that you've been saying since the beginning, it was like that too. Because when I'm reading it with my kids, and they're like, "Who is this guy? The wolf guy?" And I'm like, I don't know, because they haven't said his name.
This is the first time they gave him a name in 4 issues.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, I mean, I agree with that. It's definitely cluttered with too many goons and minions that probably could be cool if they could, just have more space to do something.
Any one of them would be interesting given the chance to shine, but none of them are given anything, really. So Lasso says it was issues 114 to 117.
Okay,
sounds about right.
There you
go. All right, and let's get here to the end. We have Sauron falling and getting punched by Colossus on his way down, getting slashed by Wolverine on his way across, and then getting buried under a whole bunch of rubble, only to rise up and say, I'll get you guys next time. And the Storm's like, no, you won't, and then like blasts him out a wall. And so there you go. In basically 2 pages, Sauron went from I can defeat all of you to I hate you guys.
Yeah. A little too fast, but I do like seeing how the team worked together, like Storm freezing him out, basically having him fall down. And then as he's falling, obviously Colossus doing his thing, knocking him out. The whole, the team effort was there. And that's, even Wolverine, like, I forgot he even swiped his, as he was flying, his one wing there kind of took it out. So,
Bueller's here. Bueller.
Hey,
I
hope you're
pretty good.
Yeah, man.
It's good to see you, my friend, in the chat. It's great seeing him traveling all around. He was hanging out with Robbie
just everywhere
just recently. So I hope you're recovering from all the fun you're having.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean it, Darrell. You were saying something.
I was just looking at how he slashed his wing. Like, I guess I didn't notice it when I actually read it, but man, he did. He ripped it
he
ripped
took
it
the one
pretty
out.
open.
Kept a souvenir.
Yeah.
He's gonna make a new
Oh,
loincloth out, or a new costume out of that.
I agree, though. All the teamwork, like you were saying, it does work pretty well. I guess I didn't, except for these panels where, like, I guess it's Storm like blows him out the side of the wall or something. That part didn't make sense, and like
I agree. You're right. Everything else clicked except
yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that suffers most when you have these, like, let's try to pack as much into a mini story. You don't have the pacing, you don't have the steps, you don't have the intensity, and you don't have the drama. A lot of that stuff gets sucked away.
Yeah, totally.
And JP says that last panel Storm needed to be an entire page. I mean,
yep.
If it was across 2 pages, don't they call that a spread page?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move on. Sorry. Here we go. And then this is it. Everybody's like, hey, you know what? This Sauron guy, he needs some help. Maybe we take him to the big brain guy that we have. And then the big brain guy is like, oh, I got a couple switches I can flip. Hey, yeah, he's cured. All done.
Yeah. A couple of panels, it goes from, I don't know if I could do anything for it. But wait, it's all good. Everything's come out okay.
Literally like 3 panels, and it's just
I wanted Ka-Zar to be like, I wanted Ka-Zar to be like, this is the list of all the people that Sauron has killed in the last few years because of this.
Yeah.
Where the heck have you been? Like, are you kidding me? One switch you had me? That was all it took?
Yeah.
Come on.
I do like that they clarified that it was, this virus that essentially took him over. Like I never read like the earlier stuff with Sauron, like from the Silver Age, X-Men stuff. So it wasn't really, I kind of thought he was a mutant. So they kind of clarified that here, that he's not a mutant. He was just, he had this virus or whatever. They cure him. And poof, he's better. So I that part was like, at least I kind of learned a little bit more of the character from that aspect. But it definitely, to both your points, like it was, over 3 panels of how dramatic this might not work, and then hey,
it worked.
Hey, he's good. He's just like, all right, you want to get beer? Yeah, let's get beer.
It was just long enough for Cyclops to get dressed like young Hugh Hefner and come out and check what's going on.
He's been sick.
Yeah, that's right.
He's just showing up like, what's happening? You guys go to the Savage Lands without me? I would have grown a beard. So there you go. Is he really cured? Will we see Sauron again? Oh, come on. I already gave away that Cable shoots his butt in the X-Force. Be ready. It's still more to come.
Last of the Billy Ray virus makes
it. I saw that Billy Ray virus. Darrell, did you have any last thoughts on this story? Because we're going to run through the 2 side stories. We'll tell you a little bit about what you missed.
Okay, yeah.
In the other 2 stories.
Like I said, this just wraps it up so quick. It's so funny that it took 3 3/4 of an issue, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, 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 done. Right. For this story to be told, and going back to the whole Peter Parker aspect of it, you're like, why was he even in it? And, it's like there's just a lot of that's the whole thing. But
totally.
Yeah. I wish that we got more Peter Parker there. I thought maybe we would, being that he helped kick it off,
I mean, he's even on the cover of the trade, like pretty focused.
Yeah, he is.
Click.
I don't think I guess that's not Sauron that they're fighting there, but yeah, clickbait. That's what.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. That's how they get you. You put Wolverine and Spider-Man on the cover, you're probably going to sell it. I'm just saying.
They're like, oh, Spider-Man's in this. Like, only for a quick second.
So, I mean, I'm glad I am glad I've read it, because I've seen it before and like wanted to, but it was just okay overall.
Justin, do you want to do final thoughts for before we move on?
No, I mean, I think we covered everything here. Okay. Definitely happy to be done with the Marvel Fanfare for a while. So.
Well, then let's dive into some Michael Golden art on this Deathlock story. Story by David Anthony. I think it's Kraft. Art by Michael Golden. It basically is just dealing with Deathlock and the doctors, scientists that are controlling him. It's basically just giving you the story of who is Deathlock. and then he goes through this crazy mind experience where he sees the woman he loves, but he knows it can't possibly be her, and then he sees how he used to look, but then there's like a dog that's trying to kill him, and then he's waking up back in the lab where he originally was, and they think they've got him under wraps now, but they think he's kind of useless, but he's still got his power, and he knows that it's still real, and that's it. That's the whole thing. Justin, did I miss anything vital that you were like, oh?
So I actually just kind of skimmed through this one. Didn't really read into it deep in detail. I will say that after the last one, and with racial slurs and all, like I don't know, I was just kind of turned off, and
you were scared. I know you were scared.
Yeah, I didn't really feel the need to. I just felt like the Daredevil one was great. And Darrell, I recommend, as we are doing, our buddy reads with Daredevil stuff, I do recommend at least checking that out at some point digitally, maybe.
That's from issue 1 of Marvel Fanfare.
So the backstory of that one, I really enjoyed that one. It's a Christmas, focused issue for Daredevil. But other than that, the other two, we had Fantastic Four, and then we had the one with Hawkeye, and the one with Hawkeye had some racial slurs in it, and it was just like. It just seemed like there was no effort. Even the Fantastic Four one, as you broke down, John, it's just like no real effort in these stories. And so by the time I got to this one, I just felt so like drained and didn't really give a crap,
to put time. No, I get it. And the only thing that kept me going was I loved the way Michael Golden draws these pages. Like this first splash page is fantastic.
Yeah.
Great detail, great artwork. But yeah, it's basically just a marketing tool. This felt like them trying to sell me on pick up the next issue of Deathlock because he's kind of a cool character, which I agree. He's kind of interesting, but no, I'm not going to do that. Like,
denied.
And that's basically the whole thing. And then we get into Iron Man, and Iron Man's also going on a trippy dream, which is hilarious because I just watched Doctor Strange, and then I'm reading these. Everybody's having crazy nightmare dreams, and in this case, Tony's asleep, and in the dream, all of a sudden he's battling a wizard, and the wizard has a girl that he's interested in, and he's like, what is happening? And then the wizard's like, I'm not really a wizard, and this is not really your girl, this is your innocence, and I am your evil dark side, and take off your helmet and battle me. And Tony's like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'll do it because it's a dream. And then it's like, no, there's a purple monster grappling you and putting you in flames, and you're like, why does this bother me? Because the flames aren't real. And then the innocent side of him which is the redheaded woman, slaps the wizard, which is the evil side of him, and then he's all just fighting himself, and it's all so dramatic, and that's it. That's the end of the thing. He wakes up after he's come to terms with his life.
These are the best breakdowns right here, John. You're doing a tremendous job. It's great. It's great. I didn't realize that this was a second, or I guess a third story technically in this story. I thought it was just the Deathlock one. So.
# worth it.
Yeah, that's cool. So does I feel like Doctor Strange should show up in this. He doesn't though, I guess.
I mean, it would have been great if the final page was like him saying, "No, this is the multiverse. I'm just messing with all of you."
Honestly, with everything going on here and the craziness, if you told me just somewhere in these panels, like, yeah, Doctor Strange shows up, he saves the day, and that's it, I'd be like, oh wow, all right, it looks like
really explains a whole lot. About the Savage Land. About
I see purple. Is that Clay? That might be Clay. I don't know.
Who did the art in this one? It looks nice.
Sorry, I'll back up here. This one was cred. Did I not record that? I did not write that down. Or maybe it's not even listed. Maybe it must. Maybe it's not Golden. This is very different than Michael Golden stuff. I'm not certain. It's not listed. I screen grabbed every page, so maybe they didn't list it.
Yeah, they might not have.
Yeah,
that's pretty unusual.
I apologize.
But didn't the Marvel Fanfares have it on like the front page too? Like there were no ads.
Sometimes they did, but like on the Deathlock one, they had a whole title page with the whole thing here. This title page just says "Ordeal!" ! And that's the whole thing. That's it.
So do you have these original copies?
I do not.
I have number one.
Shame on me.
Number one.
Is it like the Daredevil? It's worth it for the Daredevil.
The glossy paper.
Yeah,
I've got a Marvel Fanfare, like a later one, a Hulk one, and it's like glossy paper, and I was kind of like, wow, this is some fancy paper for the time this came out.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
Chet mentions some of the issues that are later on with Black Widow are really amazing. And I think there's even like a Scarlet Witch one that I own that I really liked the cover for. It was very gothic looking that I thought was kind of beautiful.
Nice.
But yeah, I know they're not like prized in a lot of ways. So.
Yeah.
But key facts: Sauron goes back to being human. That's all I got. That's all I got. Nothing else. Apparently, there are about 50 people in the universe who have slabbed this book.
Yep.
So kudos to those people who really want to complete a run in slabbed form. So $49 as of last July, a year ago, July, would get you a 9.8 of this book. And about $10 would get you a 9.6, which means somebody really wanted to just get rid of these books because that does not cover the shipping or the slabbing of these books.
Yeah,
nowhere.
Lost money on getting that done.
I mean, $10. I mean, good Lord, even the $50 doesn't really cover shipping to the CGC and getting the ship back and the slabbing. Like that's not realistic. Chet says
even
that Scarlet Witch issue was number 916. So there you go.
Oh, okay, nice.
Even that 9.0 in 2018 sold for 23.
I mean, that one was worth more. There you go. But that was a year previous. So there you go. Chet says, I think Stan Lee would have sent these back to me if I asked him to sign. Ouch. Shots fired.
They're not that bad.
Yikes. So that's it. 51 minutes in, we really blasted through. I mean, there's not much to talk about here. So Darrell, are we still going to be friends after asking you to read this? I mean, after asking you to
we gotta get Darrell back for an X-Men title.
This might be image friendships.
Yeah. Darrell's like, these guys have me on for this.
I am glad I read it because I have wanted to, and now I have.
Yeah.
So,
well, at least now you can change your name to Read Your Comics unless they're Marvel Fanfare.
Brutal.
Premium title. It was like meant to be like the cream of the crop creators and stuff.
Way before Black Label, Marvel had Fanfare.
Yeah, that's right. It seems almost like it was because I didn't know it had those extra stories. It seems almost like it was like the precursor to Marvel Comics Presents in a way.
Definitely.
Except they were like trying to use quality. Like with the higher quality, and then they were like, let's come up with another version of it and put like up and comers on it, along with like one story that has like some, regular names on it. So.
Right. Joel,
and of course use Wolverine
to you about next season, season 3. Joel, we're gonna make this dream happen right there.
Oh heck yeah, that'd be awesome. Good to see you, Joel.
Be ready. Justin, any final thoughts on Marvel Fanfare now that you can say goodbye to it until next week when we have to come up with 4 questions about this book?
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that little bit there, but like Darrell said, like I'm it's nice to like have read it or to at least recognize the books now. If anyone ever does bring them up in any way, I do think that the title itself is kind of a question mark. A lot of people kind of look at it as like, oh, what was that? Was that any good or whatever? So at least I kind of have some knowledge on at least the first 4 issues. So there's that. But yeah, I am I'm excited to get back to the X-Men titles. Even though we're wrapping up the season here, at least we get a few more before we close out. So, but yeah, that's about it.
So as Justin's saying, we got 5 issues left to cover. We got 3 uncanny issues. We're going to go to Justin's channel next week. So be sure you've subscribed and hit the notification bell. Darrell's information for Instagram all down below. Make sure you're following Read Your Comics. Next week, we're going to answer questions about this issue. This week, we're asking questions about issue 3 from Marvel Fanfare. So for those of you in the chat, your goal is to try your best to remember the show we did last week and answer correctly, because the first 2 correct answers get entries into our giveaway. The one who makes Darrell laugh the most or make him think is most funny each round also gets a raffle entry. And I got my list here so that we can keep track of all of these shenanigans. Justin, did you want to go first with your first question here?
Yeah, sure. I'll start it off. Okay. So my first question is, who put Gaza in a headlock last episode or last issue? Gaza was one of Brainchild's crew members. He was
one of the
first
many villains.
Yeah, he was the first. He didn't have 4 arms; he just had 2. But he was, he was the one that they first saw as they were seeing like a bunch of people slaughtered on the X, the X, pieces of wood or whatever. So he comes running through, and the team, attempts to stop him, and somebody throws him into a headlock. So what? Who was that? Who was that individual?
And again, Joel knows the play here. You got to try to amuse Darrell. He says Howard the Duck, which again is not that far fetched for a Marvel fanfare. I'm just gonna say. Also, he's was it Wolverine's sandwich? I mean, that'll mess you up, as it messed up the entire Blackbird. However, we have 2 people saying Colossus.
Yeah,
Lasso and Albert. Are they both correct?
Nice. Yes, they are. So
there we go. I honestly was like lost at that point. I'm like, I don't know that I remember.
Yeah.
So Lasso, always a good person to copy and paste if you know what you're doing. And Albert clearly does.
Ryan says Diana Ross's wig.
Was it? I mean, it could have been. Angel thought headlocks would be one of his new powers. He was wrong. It wasn't Angel, is all Jackson White Kirk knows. It wasn't. And JP says it was Storm if he was lucky.
True.
Darrell, you like any of those?
Let's say Storm if he was extremely lucky.
There you go, JP, with another comedy point for you.
Nice.
I'm going to go with my first question. I'm asking, let's see. There's a character named Amphibious, another one of the random many villains. Didn't even show up in this issue, not even in this 4th issue. However, in issue 3, he battles the X-Men and he defeats. Sorry. One of the X characters defeats him. Which X-Men character is able to defeat the Frog? No, it's the other way around. I'm already tired. See how much I want to be done with these issues. It's the opposite. I'm gonna repeat my question. Although these comments may already answer. Frog guy.
By the way, we have another show after this. So
I know it's bad.
You want to be entertained and see
I like
John
that one a lot better. Which X character is defeated by Amphibious? That's the question.
There you go.
Now I'm going to take a breather. I'm going to catch my breath. Which X character is defeated by Amphibious in last issue? Was it Howard the Duck's sandwich?
A little
Chet
combo
yet again talking about Rachel Dinners.
I really think he's genuinely not trying to type that, though.
The last time I was here, I think, was when the Rachel Dinners joke started.
There you go.
Nice. That's right.
Angel definitely lost it to the frog guy. We got somebody restart John. I mean, if you press on my temple hard enough, I just really do. But the correct answer was Chet saying it was Wolverine.
Well, hold on. Let's get a spell check here. Hold on. Okay. Yep. He's good.
He capitalized it and everything. JP with the second correct answer.
Nice.
Toad Man. He did not defeat Toad Man. And did he defeat Kermit?
Kermit.
And yeah, it's the anniversary of Rachel Dinners with Darrell.
That's right.
There you go. Darrell, did you like any of those? Any of those wowing you?
Let's see. Let's go. I saw Kermit slide in there at the last minute.
Lasso, sneaky. He's a sneaky.
Kermit took out Amphibious.
You got
or was taken out by Amphibious.
Nice.
All right, Justin, what's your second question?
Okay, so my second question is, I'm going to start with. I'll give a hint afterwards. But how do I say this? I guess I'll just say, what wrestler did I make a joke of saying that took out Vertigo last episode? Vertigo was knocked out, and there was a certain wrestler that saved the day. Who was it that saved the day? At least in that moment, and knocked out Vertigo.
I mean, without that wrestler, it really would have been a very different scenario.
True. Very true. Very true. I was thinking of holding back, not saying wrestler first, but I figured I'd just go with it.
Was it Stone Cold Steve Urkel? I mean, everybody can go home. I think so. It was just done. I think we're all good. It's happened. We're done. So the correct answer was Chet Scotland with The Rock.
That's right.
And that makes second place. I mean, he didn't capitalize it, but we're going to give it to JP because we're on his channel in a few minutes here. It was The Rock, which means the comedy answers were Stone Cold Steve Austin. We had John Cena. And Magic Lasso also said Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, spelled correctly. But it seems like the only comedy answer came from the guy Sove because everybody gave up on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So gets it.
There you go, Michael.
So there you go, sir. All right. Last question of the night is X-Men flew to the Savage Lands in the Blackbird, which, I mean, realistically, you don't fly with Wolverine in the Blackbird, especially with the sandwich locker at the back. Because Cyclops didn't go with them, who was piloting the Blackbird on this dangerous mission? Because last time didn't work out so well for the pilot. Pilot got hit in the head by a flying Wolverine. So who was brave enough to pilot the Blackbird jet into the Savage Lands? All right. Oh, I got 2 correct answers already.
Oh, boom.
Yeah. So, Sove yet again dominating some tonight. Then we got Magic Lasso predictably throwing down some thunder. I'm just going to say. So that is the correct answer. Incorrect or comedy answers could be Storm. Ooh, just let Destiny took the wheel. You let Destiny take the wheel.
Now the mutant Destiny, or
it was lowercase, so I'm assuming it was just Destiny.
All right.
Diana Ross's tour bus driver, Wolverine's sandwich. They don't even let Kitty Pryde stay home alone. They're gonna let her fly the Blackbird. Albert, I'm worried about your parenting skills. Oh, with an airplane joke. There you go. No, I'm an airline pilot. I'm Roger Murdoch. I'm an airline pilot.
Tell your dad how hard it is to bust his ass going up and down that court every day, every night. You ask him how he could do that.
Such a good movie. Oh, I love it. So I'm assuming
I'm gonna have to give it to Sove for that.
I was assuming Sove pulls it out with that one. That's a great reference. That's like an airplane movie reference. So, folks, that wraps it up here. We are another Marvel Fanfare book away. We are done moving out of that realm. Next week, we're back to actual uncanny X-Men issues. Right. And we're back over on Justin's channel for that. I believe it's 151.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Kitty Pryde's packing her bags. She's like, Savage Lands again? I'm gone.
I'm out. Peace. I'm outie.
Deuces. So
is that the Professor X a jerk issue?
I mean, most are.
Most are.
I was gonna say I never read this, but I would assume yes.
It's a safe bet. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure the notification bell's clicked. Make sure you're over there next week on KnowGood Comics channel for that. And Darrell, thanks for suffering through this with us. I appreciate it.
You survived.
To do this.
Last time I got to do Days of Future Past. This time I got the wrap up to Marvel Fanfare. So.
You really got the spectrum going.
Yeah, the spectrum.
You got to just find you a good old fashioned, like average comic.
Yeah,
something in the middle. You really got the extremes. Yeah. So great. Huge thank you to Darrell. And again, there's some links down below. You can subscribe and check out the content that Darrell's been putting out there and have a chat with him on Instagram about some great books because the man reads a ton and knows his books.
Always bringing the knowledge.
Always reading.
That's what we love most over on these shows, gotta say.
Yeah.
So huge thank you, man. Justin, anything you want to mention? Anything big coming up here you want people to know about?
Actually, since Darrell's here, Darrell and I, we've been kind of going back and forth and reading some Daredevil, some Frank Miller stuff.
Yeah.
So we're on. I know you just read 169, Darrell. I'm right behind you. So continuing to read that, and we'll do another stream for that at some point in the next probably a couple of weeks or so. And then Darrell and I were even talking about Superman a little bit. So maybe read a little bit of that as well. Which not
Man
All-Star
Superman.
All-Star.
Ooh.
Yeah.
2 days from now, this Thursday, I'll be with Ryan, Fire Guy Ryan. We're gonna do for all seasons.
Because I thought you were talking about Superman for all seasons.
Yeah, that one.
I started messaging him about that, and that's when
he's obsessed. Ryan will not let that go. I had to read it or not be his friend. Like that was really where it was at with the two of us. I even had to buy all the issues off eBay. I was like really extreme.
So Justin was posting that. Justin was posting that in his stories, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good story." Just chatting with him, and he was saying, "Well, I want to get more into Superman," and I was like, "Well, if you want to do All-Star Superman, I would reread that again." And he was like, "Let's do it this month."
Yeah. Like jump through the screen at him.
I was like, "Well, I did just finish Age of Apocalypse, so I guess there's an opening in my reading schedule there."
So is this like a new series? Justin reads Superman. Is that where we're headed?
Yeah, I'm just exploring, man. A lot of different things.
I got two recommendations if you want that are like some of my favorite. Obviously, Superman Red Sun is a classic solo trade. Where you see what if Superman had landed in Russia instead of Indiana? Instead of Smallville, he lands in Russia. What would Superman have been like?
Cool,
great series. And then when I was into comics, I was reading the original Batman Superman series. Jeff Loeb was writing. You had Michael Turner drawing the interiors of a full story. It was amazing.
Oh, wow. Turner
was Ed McGuinness doing a story, but it was basically stories involving Superman and Batman working together. Really cool.
Okay.
Really
nice
cool stuff.
Nice.
So there's a fairly large, just straight paper trade back. Something like that, right? Paperback. It's got all the first set of issues in one, and you can read it.
Oh, sweet.
Great.
I have been on a kick just because I've been watching that Superman and Lois TV series, and it's been really, really good. Yeah, nice. I don't follow any of the CW stuff. I have no idea about anything, but my girlfriend and I love it. So
nice.
Hey, comic vet.
We got the comic vet and aggressively relaxing, jumping in at the end. Good to see you guys, but we're leaving. We're out of here. You mentioned what he's doing up. Darrell, anything else you got coming up that you want people to know about? Anything you're reading?
That I'm reading. Well, I guess I'll be reading All-Star Superman.
On your list. And some Daredevil. Yeah.
There you go. Just my regular daily post on Instagram. Also, I've got the Spider-Man.newsstrip account. Everybody needs to follow that. Daily Spider-Man strip.
Oh, yeah.
Why aren't you following
it? Cool.
The old school newspaper strips?
Yeah, John, you don't know that I've been doing that? It's a secondary account. It's a secondary Spider-Man.newsstrip. Every day I just post.
I used to love those in the newspaper when I was a kid, man. Awesome. All right, well we're gonna get out of here. So thanks everybody for coming, and we'll be back next week for 151 over on that guy's channel. So
all right.
Thanks everybody.
Peace.